axis, the x coordinate is 0. On y axis, y coordinate is 0. Abidullah Ansari, please turn on your camera. Then for two parallel lines, gradients are equal. For perpendicular lines, the product of their gradient is -1. To find the point of intersection, we need to equate those equations. And then perpendicular bisector is a line which bisects the given line at 90 degrees. We have discussed all these points and we applied all these points, all these information in different questions. We attempted some of the past paper questions as well. Now see, this is the last point we haven't discussed yet, which is about the equation of circle. What's the equation of circle? The equation of circle is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Where we have written the h and k. H, k are the coordinates of the center, and r here is the radius of the circle. Now, some discussion of this equation of circle. Where did that come from? And how to use that in different questions. That is totally new for you because you haven't studied equation of circle in O level. We know if the equation of circle, if we have an equation of a line, then x, y are satisfying every point on that line. So it means if I label here x, y, anywhere on that circle, on the circumference of the circle, say this is the point x, y. So every point, basically x, y is representing every point on the circumference of the circle. You can label this as x, y, this as x, y, but everywhere x and y are different. But overall, when you are writing the equation of a circle, so equation of circle mean those x and y satisfy every point on that circumference. If I tell you that this is the center of the circle, and that center of the circle can be anything, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I say this is a center, the coordinates of the center are 2, 3, x coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 3. Maybe originally this is your x-axis, so x coordinate may be 2 and y coordinate can be 3. If I ask you to find the radius of this circle, how will you find that? And further, if I tell you okay, this particular point x, this one, and this one is generally I have taken as xy, say this is now 5 and 7. How will you find the radius of this circle? Radius is basically the distance between the center and any one point on the circumference. So radius, simply you will apply the distance formula. So distance will be, or you can say radius will be square root of 5 minus 2 whole square plus 7 minus 3 whole square. That is how you will find the radius of this circle. And you'll get the answer. No issue here. Or agar aapka your 0.57, if you take any point here or here, wherever you take, the radius will be same. Now if I generalize this thing, इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है, ये radius तो find कर लेंगे. It's not, because simply you are applying distance formula. Now if I generalize this thing and if I say okay, here your points on the circumference, mean on the circle, if I say they are x and y, generalize them. Simply I'm writing x and y. and say I'm going to label the coordinates of center as H and K. Say the coordinates of the center are H and K. Then how will you find the radius? The method is same. So your method, in that case, you will find the radius by using R is equal to square root x minus h whole square, mean x2 minus x1 whole square, plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And this is how you will calculate the radius. And if you want to remove this square root, you will apply square on both sides. And if you apply square on both sides, you'll get r square is equal to x minus h whole square plus, that was kahan pe? Y minus k whole square. So this is y minus k whole square. So the same, that is the equation of the circle. Now if I replace xy, ye point hai, ye point, so this xy is basically satisfying every point on the circumference. So if you are finding the radius by taking this point or by taking this point or this point, I am saying that these all points basically the circles on the circle are representing x and y. So they must satisfy x and y. So this will become the equation of circle. R square is equal to x minus h whole square, y minus k whole square. So whenever you have the equation written in this particular form, so it means this is the equation of circle. And from that equation of circle, you can identify the coordinates of center and the coordinates of radius. Remember, you need to change the sign of this. If you want to tell the coordinates of the center, see, originally it is h and k, not minus h. So you need to change this sign if you want to tell the coordinates of the center. Now let's see some examples. If I say, okay, we have the equation of a circle, which is x minus 3 whole square plus y plus 2 whole square is equal to 16. This is the equation of circle. Can you tell the coordinates of the center? Yes, we can tell. What are the coordinates of center? So coordinates of center are positive 3, negative 2, because we know, okay, here it should be negative. This is basically original formula. If it is x minus, the original is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square. Originally in that formula, in that equation, there is minus h and minus k, but the coordinates are opposite of that, h and k. So minus 3 mean it will become positive 3, and positive 2 mean it will become negative 2. So the coordinates of the center are 3, negative 2. And what's the radius of that circle? It's not 16, it's 4. See, in that equation, it is r square here. So r square is basically 16. So what is r? R is 4. So it means simply the square root of 16. So the radius of that circle will be 4. One more example. If we have x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 4 whole square is equal to 3. Yes, Mahad. What are the coordinates of the center? Negative 1, positive 4 will be the coordinates of the center. And Ibrahim, what will be the radius? Radius will be square root of 3. We have to take the square root of the right side, because it was 16. When it was 16, you have taken the square root, it was 4. So actually your right side पे जो number है, that is r square. So r square is 3 here. Here in this case, your r square is 3. And whenever we take square root, we used to write plus minus square root 3. But here, because it's a radius, it's a length, that cannot be negative. So we'll write only positive square root 3. More examples. If we have x minus 1 whole square plus y square is equal to 9. In Shara, what are the coordinates of the center? It is written x minus 1 whole square plus y square is equal to 9. So x coordinate is 1. It's written y square. So basically you can say y plus 0 whole square, y minus 0 whole square. So there is no term with that y. So it's 0. So the coordinates of the center of that circle will be 1, 0, and the radius will be 3. Next, if we have x square plus y square is equal to 1, x square plus y square is equal to 1, then the coordinates of the center is 0, 0, and the radius of that circle is 1. Specifically, this circle is called unit circle. Its radius is 1. If you want me to sketch this circle, center is 0, 0, it would be, its radius will be 1, mean it will be passing through 1, 1, 1. So your circle should be like that. So just a sketch of that circle. G, is that clear? Now the next thing is, if I give a question in which it is written x square plus 4x plus y square minus 6x is equal to maybe 2. So can you go the previous slide? Here it is. G, now here is a question, x square plus 4x plus y square. So that's not minus 6, it's minus 6y. It's minus 6y, make the correction. Is equal to 2. Now the question is to find the coordinates of the center and the radius. Can you find? Four x plus y square minus 6y is equal to 2. Initially it is x square. The problem here is k, this is not the completed square form. You can tell the coordinates of center when you have a completed square form like this, x minus h whole square, y minus k whole square, if you have a completed square form. So once you have the completed square form, then you can tell the coordinates of center. So it means here we need to do one more step, additional step. What is that? Completing square method. And you did that method in O level, or majority of you forgot. Yeah, aata bhi nahi tha, sabhi hai. Let's see what's the method. I'm going to recall that method. Usually that was in your D3 chapter number 1's quadratic equation. You studied 3 methods. First is quadratic form, one is the quadratic formula, the factorization, and third by completing the square method. So we should know completing square method. So I am leaving this question here. Now we are going to revise the completing square method. Ji Hamoud, Zaki, please turn on your camera. If we have x square plus 8x plus, okay, simply x square plus 8x, and I want to complete the square for this. I want to write this question in the form x plus a whole square plus b. I want to write in the form of whole square. I want to complete the square. So how to do that? Yes, Ibrahim. You add 4 and minus 4. So if we add 4, basically, I'm considering that you all are beginner here. So बिल्कुल बेसिक चीजें हम लेके चलते हैं. जरा देखिए, कुछ लोगों को पहले आता होगा मेथड, कुछ को नहीं आता, तो मैं बिल्कुल बेसिक चीज को लेके चलूंगा. एंड रिमेंबर दैट मेथड will be used here in this particular subtopic, equation of circle, and then in quadratics there will be a lot of usage of this. Okay, if for this, if you want to complete the square, you should know that identities. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. And if there is a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So whether it is a plus b or a minus b, or a square and b square, both are always positive. These two are always positive. If it is positive, the sign positive will come with 2ab, and if it is negative, it will come with, but a square and b square will stay positive in both formulas. Okay, if you want to write this question x square plus 8x in the form of a completed square form, whole square, so in दोनों में से ही कोई एक formula apply होगा. Let's see which one. See, x square के बाद it's positive 8x, so the first one. So now I need to make that form. पहले मैं इस क्वेश्चन को एक कंप्लीट मेथड से करूंगा, और फिर मैं आपको एक शॉर्ट डायरेक्ट वे बता दूंगा. I want to write this form, this particular form, a square plus 2ab plus b square. I want to write that form, a square plus 2ab plus b square. If I have that particular form, a square plus 2ab plus b square, तो फिर मैं उसको I can directly write a plus b whole square. Now I need to see what is a here. So x square means a is a square. So x square, so it will become the square of x. So I have decided the first term is x. So 2ab, so the first term is already we have decided x. We need to think of the second number, this number, so that the product of all these three will become 8x. So the other number is 4. So it means that number, the second, a plus b, a is x, b should be 4 here. So that number should be 4. And how we decided that? I'm repeating, because I know the product of these three, 2 into x into what number, that should make it 8x. So that number is 4 then. So b is 4, a is x, b is 4. So here b is 4. प्रॉब्लम क्या है इसमें? ये x स्क्वायर आ गया, ऊपर x स्क्वायर था, नीचे I have written x square. That was 8x, and this is also 8x. Where did that 4 square come from? कहां से आया है? ये स्क्वायर कंप्लीट करने के लिए I have written, I know that there should be, this is a square, this is 2ab, and to make that pattern a plus b whole square, I have added 4 square myself to make the pattern a square plus 2ab plus b square. तो क्या मैं ये b square खुद से ऐड कर सकता हूँ? नहीं कर सकते. ये 4 square में खुद से ऐड तो नहीं कर सकता. So to balance that, I have to subtract the same. मुझे इसी 4 square को subtract भी करना होगा. So it means we need to subtract 4 square as well. Mean n पे 4 square. Is that clear? Balance हो गया. Now the purpose of adding was to have that a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is equal to a plus b whole square. A is x, b is 4. And outside there is minus 4 square, that will be written as it is minus 16. डायरेक्ट करते हैं कुछ मेथड, कोई मेथड तो समझ आया ना ये पूरा. अब इसको कोई डायरेक्ट करते हैं, मीन टाइम थोड़ा सा सेव कर सकते हैं हम इसका. Now please observe, I'm going to remove this middle step. If you want to copy, you can, but I want to tell you the direct way. So I'm going to remove this middle step. Now how to write that direct a plus b whole square form? Simple is write this number without square here. Half of the coefficient of x. What is the half of the coefficient of x? 8 is the coefficient of x. What is half of that? Divide that number by 2. So if you divide 8 by 2, that number will come here. So x plus 4 whole square. And outside the same number 4, outside the same number 4 ka square will be subtracted. Repeating, if you want to do the whole working of that question, जिससे पहले मैंने किया एक step वो कर सकते हैं, but direct करना है. So if you want to write x square plus 8x in the form of whole square, तो आपने decide करना है what is a plus b whole square. So a is this number under the square, mean x, and what is b? B is the half of this number. Mean the coefficient of x is 8. What is the half of 8? Mean divide simply that 2 by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So x plus 4 whole square. And whatever the number is here, uska square by subtract hoga. Always it will be subtracted. Always. Whether inside positive 4 or negative 4. Outside it is always minus 4 square. क्योंकि inside तो हमेशा b square होगा in both cases. But outside, to make them balanced, it will be minus b square. So this is the required form, x plus 4 whole square minus 16. We will do more examples. This is a method grip ho jaye. See here the next question. If I write here x square minus 10x, directly x minus half of 10, 5 whole square, outside always negative, the square of 5 square. So your final answer, x minus 5 whole square, negative 25. More questions. Y square minus 7x. Sorry, 7y. Y square minus 7y. Complete the square. Y minus 7 by 2, if you want to write the fraction form, decimal form भी लिख सकते हैं, unless के question में कोई ऐसी condition ना लगा दियो. I'm writing fraction form. Decimal तो आप लिख सकते हैं. So y minus 7 by 2 whole square, and outside you will subtract the square of 7 by 2. So y minus 7 by 2, 49 by 4. So 7 by 2 you can write 3.5, and 49 by 4 is 12.25. थोड़ा सा complex करता हूं इसको. Now if we have constant as well, x square plus 12x plus 7. While completing the square, do we have any link with that 7? No. So it will keep on coming as it is. So just complete the square here. So x square, so it will be x plus 6 square, outside minus 6 square, and write that positive 7 as it is. That's the only thing you need to do for with that 7. So your final answer will be x plus 6 whole square minus 36, positive 7, negative 29. जी क्लियर है ये स्क्वायर कंप्लीटिंग द स्क्वायर मेथड में ये बिल्कुल बेसिक मैंने अभी बताया है. इसके फर्दर कॉम्प्लेक्स सिनेरियोस हम डिस्कस करेंगे व्हेन वी विल डू इन क्वाड्रेटिक्स. बट अभी हमें जितना चाहिए था फॉर सर्कल, इक्वेशन ऑफ सर्कल, आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू दैट. नाउ कम बैक टू दैट क्वेश्चन, दिस वन. Your question was x square plus 4x plus y square minus 6y is equal to 2. So you have to find the coordinates of center and the radius. If you want to find the coordinates of center and radius, then you need to complete the square. The square of x square will definitely be completed with that 4x. and y square का separate complete करेंगे with this. Okay, do that. So this will be x plus 2 whole square minus 2 square. Yeah, you can write 4 directly. I have completed the square of x square plus 4x. Then for y, it is y minus 3 whole square minus 3 square, which is 9. Now shift the constants 4 and 9 on the other side. So on the left, you will get x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square, 2 square 4, 9 squares, 3 square 9, 9 and 4 13, negative 13 on the other side, positive 13. So positive 13 plus 2 will make it 15. So you have your equation in the form x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Just compare and tell me the coordinates of center and radius. Center, the coordinates of center are -2, +3, and radius is square root 15. Clear? More questions? Okay, again, same question. You need to find the coordinates of center and radius. Equation is x square plus y square minus 8y plus 2x is equal to 1. Find the coordinates of center and the radius. First, rearrange. With x squared, 2x should be written with that. X square positive 2x plus y square negative 8y is equal to 1. Then complete the square. Yes, what's the answer? Minus 1, 4. Ramin is also telling the same, minus 1 and 4. And the radius is? So for those who could not complete the square, see here, x square plus 2x mean it will be x plus half of 2 is 1. So x plus 1 whole square. And outside negative 1 square plus y minus 4 whole square, and outside you will subtract 4 square is equal to 1. So we will get x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 4 whole square is equal to 1 square 1 4 square 16 plus 1 17, 17 plus 1 18. So the coordinates of the center are -1 +4 and radius is square root 18. Last question of that type. Y square minus 6y is equal to 2 minus x square. Find the coordinates of the center and the radius of the circle. So first arrangement mean x square should be on the left plus y square minus 6y is equal to 2. The square x squared, we don't need to complete that. I think it should be 0, 3. X square, if you complete the square, it will be y minus 3 whole square minus 3 square is equal to 2. So x square plus y minus 3 whole square negative 9 will make it 11. So the coordinates of center are 0, 3, and the radius is square root 11. G, is that clear? Any question? Yes. If the question is to write the exact form, so you will write square root 11. But if it is not mentioned, then you have an option of writing the exact form or correct to 3 significant figure. But if you are writing your answer in decimal form, please, it should not be in 2 significant or neither it should be in 4 significant. It should be exactly correct to 3 significant figure as per the Cambridge rule. Or otherwise, you have an option of keeping it exact form, means square root 11. Okay, next is in the syllabus. It is mentioned when that was written that you have to understand the equation of circle. It is further written in that syllabus that the knowledge of the symmetric and angle properties of circles are expected. You did symmetric properties, mean angle properties of circle in O level. I hope you remember. So those are also required here. So let's revise, क्योंकि उनमें से भी कुछ आ सकता है कोई ऐसा concept. So let's revise the angle properties of circle you did in your O level. Before starting those properties, we should know what is a tangent line. A line which just touches the curve externally, that line is called a tangent line. This is a tangent line. अभी मैं properties नहीं बता रहा, originally चीजें जो है. We know the radius as well. A line which joins any two points of the circle, this one. What is that called? This is chord. Chord is a line which joins any 2 points on the circumference. On the circumference, कोई भी 2 points को join कर उस line को हम chord कहते हैं. This is a chord. This is also a chord. And what is the longest chord of the circle? Diameter. Diameter, which passes through the center of the circle, that is called the diameter, and diameter is the longest chord of the circle. And a chord, if I say this is a chord, your chord divides the circle into 2 parts, and those 2 parts each called segment. A sector. I'm not talking about sector. You did sector a lot in O level. I'm talking about segment. Your chord, this chord divides the given circle into 2 parts, not equal. वो diameter होगा तभी equal होगा. So this chord is dividing the circle into 2 parts, and both parts are called segment. One is a smaller part and there's a larger one. So we can call the smaller one as minor segment. And this one is your major segment. If I shade that minor part, so that shaded region is a segment, and this is bounded by, this is in between a chord and an arc. ऐसे ही है ना? I hope you remember the arc as well. This is arc. arc is the whole boundary of a circle is circumference, and the part of that is basically arc. और उसकी length को आप कहते थे arc length. So this, the region bounded by a chord, the region bounded by a chord and the minor arc is called minor segment, and the region bounded by a chord and the major arc is called major segment. So ये नाम सिर्फ आपने पहले भी पढ़े हुए हैं, सिर्फ रिवाइज करवा रहा हूँ. इसी तरह आपने सेक्टर भी किया हुआ है. सेक्टर तो two radii and an arc. Two radii and an arc, the region between two radii and an arc. Two radii, say this one is a radius, this one is a radius. The region bounded by two radii and an arc is called sector. If that arc is minor, then the sector will be minor sector. If arc is major, then the sector will be major sector. Okay, by using the chord and these segments, you did some properties of circle in O level. What are those properties? G, who will tell me koi ek property, not in order, any one property? We are just revising. G. Yes, radius and tangent are perpendicular, so that is a one property. I'm just drawing a sketch of that so that you can have idea. If I tell you this is tangent, radius can be drawn anywhere from that center. But if I draw a radius from that point to that tangent which meets the circumference where the tangent is meeting, so the property about this radius and tangent is they are perpendicular. So radius and tangent of a circle are perpendicular. That was the first property, one of the property. G, any other? G, Hussain.
Angle at circumference.
Sorry, please repeat.
Sir, diameter of a circle forms 90-degree angle with the circumference.
Yes, you are right. Hussain is telling us that the diameter makes an angle of 90-degree with the circumference, mean the end points of the diameter. If I make a diameter here, diameter is a chord which is passing through the center. This is a diameter. So here you can see there are two endpoints of this diameter, two endpoints. One of them is this is the other one. If you start making angle from the endpoints of this diameter and if they end at the circumference, like here, the endpoints of the diameter are making an angle at circumference, and that angle is 90-degree. So it can be anywhere, it can be on the other side as well. So we can call it angle in the semicircle is 90-degree, or we can say angle made by that diameter, angle subtended by that diameter at the circumference is 90. Okay, any other property? Next. Yes, Fatima. Fatima is telling us that angle made by the chord from the same chord at the circumference are equal. हर किसी ने different way से property याद की है. इन्होंने जो बताया है, I will tell you. इसको different way से आप. If I say this is the chord, this one, और जरूरी नहीं है chord बना हो, सिर्फ chord के end points भी बने हो जिस तरह ये. So if you make different angles from this chord on the circumference, say this is one of them. If I make one more angle from the same point, same end points of the chord, जो कि chord मैंने draw नहीं किया हुआ, that's another angle. I can make one more How many angles can be made from a same chord at the circumference? How many? We can make infinite angles. I have drawn 3 of them. So what's the property about these 3 angles? These all angles are equal. Isko usually you call angles in the same segment are equal. Angles in the same segment are equal. या आप इसको लिख सकते हैं, all the angles on the circumference from the same chord, they are equal. So if I say this is x, this is also x, this is also x. So all 3 angles will be equal. Next, any other property? Yeah. Central angle mean you want to say angle at the center. Yes, you are right. So another property is, if I say this O is the center of the circle, and there is a chord, the end points of the chord are these two. From a same chord, we can make one angle at center here. And from the same chord, if you draw one more angle, and if you draw that angle on the circumference, or circumference, we can draw infinite angles. But if I draw just one of them, so from the same chord, if you want me to draw the chord as well, so here is the chord with the red line. This is the chord. और अगर ये red line ना भी बनी हो तो भी that property is applicable. That red line shows the chord. So suppose there is no line as well. So angle, one of the angle is made at center, and the other angle is made at the circumference, and both are originating from the same 2 points, from the same chord. So the property is that angle at center is twice the angle at circumference. If I say the angle at circumference is x, then the angle at center will be 2x. Yes, opposite angles. The next property we are writing, the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Supplementary mean whose sum is 180. Okay, first of all, we need to see what is cyclic quadrilateral. What is cyclic quadrilateral? A quadrilateral inside the circle, but all the vertices A, B, C, D, if you are saying the quadrilateral having 4 vertices A, B, C, D, then all 4 vertices should lie on the circumference of the circle. Say this one is a quadrilateral. A, B, C, D. So this is a quadrilateral whose all 4 vertices lying on the circumference of the circle. So that is called cyclic quadrilateral. Or अगर ये cyclic quadrilateral, so it has some specific properties. Opposite angles are supplementary. What are supplementary angles? Whose sum is 180. What are complementary angles? If the sum is 90. So the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Mean if I say okay, this angle is 80 degree, then opposite to C, this angle A would be 100. Sum of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180. If I say this one is 110, then opposite will be 70. G, any other property? या बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं आप, उसको मैं डिस्कस करूंगा और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉपर्टी है ये. Yes, Hussein, you want to tell?
Sir, the radius from the center bisects the chord into 2 equal halves, forming a 90-degree angle.
Yes, बिल्कुल सही है. अच्छा, ये ओ लेवल में सिलेबस में नहीं थी, ये उस आईजीसीएस से किया आपने? ये उसमें है। अच्छा देखिए जी, नेक्स्ट इज, एक तो मैं पहले थोड़ी सी टेंजेंट की प्रॉपर्टीज को थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड कर दूं, फिर उसके बाद जो आपने और इधर से किसने बताई ये प्रॉपर्टीज को मैं डिस्कस करूंगा। टेंजेंट, we know कि external point, if I say this is the external point outside the circle, how many tangents can be drawn from that point? Two tangents can be drawn from that point, one on this side and the one on the other side. What about them? कोई इनकी खास बात है? Their lengths are equal. ये कोई direct fact नहीं है, ये हम prove कर सकते हैं. So here we are just revising, so you already know these two lengths. External points, say if you draw two tangents, only two tangents are possible. The lengths of those two tangents are equal. So this length and this length both are equal. And if I make radius which are joining to that point where tangents are there, this and this, so the angle will be 90 degree, because the first property, we know radius and tangent are perpendicular, so that angle would be 90 degree. That is also 90 degree. And definitely radius or radius equal hain. And further, if I say this is point O and outside point is A, if I join O with A, you will get two triangles. Both are right angle triangles, both are congruent triangles, side angle sides, और भी different properties से prove किया जा सकता है. So if two triangles are congruent, so इसका मतलब ये angle, this angle and this angle both will be equal. If I say this angle is X, that is also X. And further, these two angles are also equal. If this is Y, that is also Y. ये कोई प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है, एक सम फैक्ट्स हैं जो प्रॉपर्टीज हैं उन्हीं से फर्दर एक्सटेंड हुए हैं. फर्दर सिमेट्रिक प्रॉपर्टीज, टू प्रॉपर्टीज रहती हैं जो इधर बताई थी किसी ने भी. एक जी, here the property is, if you have two chords in the circle, if the length of those two chords is equal, मीन अगर दोनों chords की length suppose हो 7 centimeter 7 centimeter, say A, B, C, D, if both are say 7 centimeter, mean both are equal. So what's the property? They are equidistant from center as well. Mean their distance from the center is will be equal. अब distance कौन सा? Perpendicular distance. मीन ऐसे नहीं कि सेंटर यहाँ पे कर लिया आप, सेंटर ये किया, सेंटर तो डिस्टेंस तो ये भी है, ये भी है, ये भी है. So we are talking about the perpendicular distance. So if this is a center O, then their perpendicular distance 90 degree. So their perpendicular distance from the center will be equal. Equal chords are equidistant from the center. शायद ये प्रॉपर्टी पढ़ी थी आप. Equal chords are equidistant from the center. इसी में एक एट्थ प्रॉपर्टी बता सकता हूँ या मैं अलग बताता हूँ जो कि सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है यहाँ के लिए, क्योंकि इससे रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चंस ज्यादा बन सकते हैं. That's the last property. And what is that property? If I say here is a chord, say this is a chord, this is the center. If you draw the perpendicular from center to the chord, if you draw a perpendicular, mean यहाँ से perpendicular draw करें, if there is a line from O which is perpendicular to that chord, अगर ये perpendicular हुई so it will bisect the chord. If the line from the center is perpendicular to the chord, it will bisect the chord, and vice versa. The opposite way is also possible. Mean a line from the center, if a line from the center is bisecting the chord, agar wo bisect kare, it means that line, both the lines are perpendicular. Are you getting me? This last one is very important. ये use होगी यहाँ पे. I am repeating. A line drawn from the center to the chord, if that line is perpendicular, it means it is bisecting the chord. Or the other way, if that line is bisecting the chord, it means the line is perpendicular to that chord. G, is that clear? आपको वर्कशीट मैंने व्हाट्सएप की है, सेंड की है. You have to attempt, आपके वही क्वेश्चंस हैं उसमें. You have to attempt its question 1 to 10. Listen, question 1 to 10. You will observe that most of them already done 1 to 10. You will see कि 6, I think ये 6 से 7 questions में से हुए हैं या 5 हुए होंगे. So जो missing है वो आपने attempt करने हैं, and we'll discuss the problems tomorrow, inshallah. Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much.